Hello everyone and welcome to Shining Classes. My name is Yash and today I will be covering Angular routing. So before going into a brief description, I wanted to tell you what Angular routing is. Why do we use Angular routing and what exactly how Angular routing helps in our application. So let's say if you wanted to navigate to different pages in your application, but you also want that your application should be a single page application, then we use Angular routing, and here Angular routing comes into play. As we all know that Angular ships with its own router, which allow you to change the URL and still only use one page, but then exchange major part of that page so that for the user it looks like a completely different page was rendered for him. And if we talk about in reality what is happening behind the scene when when the user gets a new page loaded for himself, but in reality it is still JavaScript changing a lot of part of the application and changing a lot of pages so that it makes for the user it makes for the user that he's completely rendering a different page. So let's take a closer look of the application that we will be working upon. So at the end of this course module, I will be providing you guys with the project information so that you can go and look at it and see how the application is currently working. So before starting, as you can see that I have a page. It seems nice, but it has some fundamental issues. We can't switch pages. I mean, when I click at the top, we can see that there are three tabs: home, student material, and students, study material, and student. So when I try to click on this or try to navigate on these tabs, nothing happens. So currently in this web page, I have a home tabs that contains information, and which are actually in reality which are actually components. These are actually components. So in this course module we will be distributing all these information to multiple pages so that some of the information gets targeted to study material, or some of the application gets indulged into students, so that when I try to navigate to these steps, all the required information get loaded. And when I try to click on this, it will be nice if I'm talking about routing. It would be nice if once I click on the study material tab or the student tab, my URL changes accordingly. So let's say if I click on study material, so my URL changes to localhost /:4200/study material, or localhost /:4200/student when I click on student. So this is where Angular routing comes into play. So we will be making use of the Angular routing so that we can make the required modification into this web application. So all these stuffs we're going to do in the next lecture.